overheard Bobby talking in the clubhouse that he's going to start throwing again today. Just how, I don't know if surprised is the right word, but just to see how scary that moment was, to see how well he's doing, how just impressed are you with this?
Very impressed. I like the way that you sort of got to get back on the horse, and I think he is of that mind. When you start then layering on getting back on a mound and a hitter, that's another hurdle, I'm assuming. But we're going to support him, but I'm confident that he's going to be just fine.
This is a big week for a lot of your stars who are going to be making their way into some Cactus League games. When it comes to the pitchers, Tyler Glasnow, Blake Snell tomorrow, what are you just kind of hoping to see from this just Cactus League preview from them?
I think just go out there and I think with Blake, obviously it's a new team. I'm not too concerned about kind of much from him. Just kind of get his work in, go out there and try to execute pitches. And I think, as I understand it, it's going to be 2 innings. And you mentioned Tuesday, and so tomorrow. So Roki will be on the backfield over there against some White Sox hitters, and it'll be somewhat of a controlled B game, simulated game. So getting him 2 innings was something we're looking forward to as well. And then going back to another star, the plan is to get Freddie in a game when we go play the Diamondbacks on Thursday. So that's good, and Shohei is not very far behind him, and so excited about that.
When you say Freddie playing, is that as the DH or first base?
We'll see. I think that my hope is that he is at first base, but the floor would be him being a DH, so and taking a couple at bats. So I'm hopeful that it's still first base.
What will make you feel comfortable about whether or not he's trying to push this too much, or he's feeling that much better to be able to test the right ankle?
So the running, he's passed all those check marks. Jumping is something that coming down on the ankle is something that we just don't feel 100% right now. So he's going to test that out. But the hitting, the running, fielding the grounders, we feel really good about it. And today he's going to go over there and take some live at bats. Same thing Shohei did yesterday. Freddie and Will be on the minor league side taking some at bats today.
Saw Chris Taylor is leading off, hitting second at second base. What have you seen of this camp?
I see a consistent mind, as we've always seen, preparedness, openness to do whatever we ask. So yeah, I want to get him at bats. He's still, like most guys, early on trying to find his swing, and sometimes you just got to move guys around the diamond to get him in the lineup, and Chris is completely fine with that.
His role is still the same as it's always been?
His role same as it's always been, yeah.
Is he a little quieter this year in his stance, at least in terms of like the hand movement, just kind of how he's setting up? Like, are those some of the things he's been working through to simplify the swing? You know what, Jack?
I really haven't asked. To the eye, it looks a little bit more quiet. I just think for me, it's a role that he does this. It's inconsistent as far as the playing time. So for me, whatever he can find that's consistent, that's lower maintenance, and that produces more contact. I just think that that's something that we just need from Chris, because in the past he has done that. In the last few years, we've gotten away from that.
Almost like more of a compete mode mentality?
No, I think he competes. I just think that there's got to be an adjustment. There's just got to be an adjustment. So that's just whatever that means, yeah.
As far as you guys, how does the competition play out for those maybe last couple of position player spots?
It's going to be interesting. I think competition is good, and we have a lot of different options, but we got a long way to go. We've got a lot of good players too, so I really can't even speak to it. Really, I think that'll take too long.
You know when Will's going to get in the game?
I think Will will be in a game potentially Thursday or Friday as well. I think that we're ready to get him in a ball game too. I'm not sure exactly which day, but I think Thursday or Friday.
Tyler talked about this offseason kind of working on having a better spine angle and staying a little more closed, so there's not as much pressure on his elbow when he's throwing. Like, with somebody especially his size and all the moving pieces, like, having that kind of synced up delivery, is that even more important with somebody like him to stay healthy? And how confident are you guys about some of the changes he's made?
Very confident. I think health is paramount for any player. Certainly Tyler, who's been through some things, and he feels that he's made some mechanical changes, which kind of lets him be a little bit more athletic, protects his arm. I think the thing that we're all going to be mindful of is how now when you do that, how your stuff plays, because everything changes, whether your height, release point, arm angle, all that stuff now changes, and so kind of calibrating with major league hitters, how your stuff plays. So I think that's kind of the next step. But right now, Tyler looks good, feels good. He's in a great spot.
Is it more or just as much about his psyche that, everything is synced up, and just as much as it is about, how he feels physically?
Yes. I think that he'll be the first to tell you that he gets a little too mechanical driven, and when you're in a big league ball game, it's about executing and competing and getting the hitters out. And so now we feel that he's in a position where he can just be athletic, be himself, and then just focus on getting hitters out, and I think that's a huge advantage.
Was he more in that mode during the first half of the year before he started having some of the elbow troubles, like midway through the year?
He was in that mode, and the thing is that's hard is, when everything is kind of synced up and it's everything, the engine and everything's perfect, and then when it's not, how do you kind of manage? And that's where it kind of got a little funky at times, but when it's right and synced up, it's as good as anyone. Yeah.
What have you learned about Tanner Scott being around him on an everyday basis?
He's like an assassin. He's there's a little sneaky humor, but very kind of knows who he is. Very, very focused. I'm just happy now that I've got to spend a little bit of time. I'm happy he's on our side, and the fear in the batter's box against him is certainly real, and I get it. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
Yep, you got it.